everybody. Welcome to our Saturday Crafternoon. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I am tuning in from sunny South Florida where it is pretty hot today. So gotta do a little bit of indoor stuff today, and also wanted to go visit my mom because today is National Sofrito Day, if you didn't know that. And if you are Hispanic, a lot of the Hispanics use sofrito as an ingredient in a lot of their cooking things. So I am definitely going to make myself a big batch of sofrito because I do use that a lot in my cooking. It is also National Dream Day. So all of you dreamers out there, take a little nap, do a little dreaming, and have yourself some fun. So just some fun tips for you that I wanted to share with you guys today. So the trivia, I see you guys are just tuning in and you guys are having a lot of fun with that. Now, there are 3 points each. So we're going to be selecting our trivia master, which will be recognized at the end of this month. So we are closing in on who's going to be that trivia master. So stay tuned because there's going to be some fun stuff going on and you guys can keep competing. We are posting the points out in the community site so you can see where you're ranking, and we're going to be announcing who that trivia master will be soon. So good job, guys. I see in one of the answers was the spinning wheel, and I saw that Kathy, aka Crazy Knitting Nana, love that name. Check out her channel. She has amazing stuff, but she owns a spinning wheel. That is awesome. So jealous. Wish I had one. Maybe one day, right? And if you guys didn't notice, today is Robin Shiver's birthday. So we definitely want to say happy birthday. Big happy birthday to Robin Shiver. She also has a channel and her channel's name is Robin's Quilting Basket. So definitely want to say a big happy birthday to her. Unfortunately, she couldn't be with us today during the live because she is taking her parents to the port on a cruise, is what I read on the chat. And so that's okay. I'm sure she'll catch us later. But we just wanted to say a big happy birthday to her. And welcome, guys. And for anyone else who's having some birthdays in the month of March, we've got some March birthdays out there. So just happy birthday for those people. Okay, so if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host weekly live sessions to talk about all things crafting. So we talk about things from knitting, crocheting, sewing, yarns, all kinds of crafts, decoupage, and we like to pull together tips, tricks, and ideas and share all of those things with us. So feel free to jump in on the chat, say hello to a couple of friends, and let's just have some fun. So let me just say hi to a few people that I see out there. I see Amy Bowles. I see Boricua Sewing and Crafts. I see Kathy, aka Crazy Knitting Nana. I see Crafting with Robin. I see Judy Bauer. I see Lila. Sorry, I think I messed up that one. And I see Nana 31331 and Yvonne Huston. So thank you guys so much for joining. Now, I've got a lot of things to cover today. I'm not sure if I can squeeze it all in the hour, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So last week, if you didn't tune in, that was live number 32. Today's live number 33, and we talked about English paper piecing versus paper piecing. And I shared a couple of the tools that you would need in order to start that type of craft. And we looked at, some different ways that you can do it. We talked about pros and cons on that. And then I also talked about fussy cutting. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and go back to that video because you can definitely see some great tips that you may want to share with your friends as well. So this week I've got a couple other things that I want to show you. I did some fabric hauls and some yarn hauls, and I want to get those out so that you can see what I was able to pick up. So one of the things that when I was doing this fabric haul, I was trying to keep in mind that I wanted to do paper piecing and English paper piecing. So the types of fabric that I picked up was really mainly around that. And I'll show you what I mean. So this was one that is really just a fat quarter. And let me see if I can just pull them out of here. So I'm going to show you a few. And the reason why I was really happy with this fat quarter was because I really liked the colors on them. And I wanted these colors to kind of pop on the different projects that I'm going to make. So if you remember, like English paper piecing, depending on the size that you use, you have these different shapes that you glue based onto a piece of paper. And they're pretty small. I mean, some range, you know, depending how you want to do it. Some are really small, some are a little bit bigger, but you don't have a lot of space to kind of showcase your design. Now, we did talk about fussy cutting. So if you had a specific design on your fabric that you wanted to cut out, there is a way that you could do that. But other than that, all the other fabrics that you will show will really just be bright colors, and you can't really have like a true design per se, because it kind of will get cut off because of the shape of the English paper piecing that you're doing. So if you're doing hexagons or diamonds or anything like that, you know, you don't have too much space to be able to showcase the fabric. So you kind of have to think about it as you want to show things that pop, things, colors. And depending on the design you're doing, you know, you want things to be able to either be neutral in terms of a plain background, or you want something similar to like a marble type color, something like this that has a little bit of color all the way around. And no matter where I cut this, it'll look really nice on a English paper piecing project or on a paper piecing project. So I wanted to kind of show you those, and these are kind of some examples that I would use on these type of projects. So here's one that's just a marble, and I thought that the colors were really pretty. And this one has a little bit of a design to it, but it's not, you know, too overpowering. And it does have different colors, so no matter where I cut it, it'll look good. Now, the only thing I may have a caveat on is because it has this hexagon shape, I may have some issues where the hexagon will get cut off. So it may look a little funny. So that I will have to just kind of see how it goes on that. But I think a perfect one to use would be something like this, where it has multiple colors. It doesn't matter where you cut the fabric. It'll look absolutely gorgeous on that type of project. Then I have something like this, where it's kind of the same thing, has a multitude of colors. Would look great in any type of project. And you can also use these fabrics for like borders around projects or quilts that you have. These would look really great because they kind of incorporate any colors that you may have on a project, and this would kind of just enhance it and help it pop. And then you have something like this, where there are like little bubbles everywhere with different colors. I thought that was a lot of fun, but again, have to be careful on where the cuts are, because you may cut off a circle and then it may look awkward. So it really, you know, it depends on the project that you're making, but you want to pick colors that just, you know, are vibrant and will really pop when you're doing that kind of project. So I thought these were really fun. I found that fat quarter. I believe this was in, let's see, I think it was Hobby Lobby. And, oh, I'm sorry, no, this was Joann's. This was in Joann's. And I thought that the fabric was really cute, and I decided to just get a fat quarter because I didn't want to buy too much fabric, because I'm doing English paper piecing and paper piecing, and you basically cut them up into tiny little pieces. So I really don't need a lot of fabric. And getting a fat quarter, a fabric bundle like this really will help me to pull it together, because I've got different choices. All the colors are kind of coordinating and go well together, so I can kind of mix and match on the shapes that I'm using and be able to make some kind of design with that. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I thought these were really neat, and I thought this would be something that would really work if you're looking to do that type of project. So I've got a couple more to show you, so let me pull those out. And I have to admit that I did buy some other things that were not part of the paper piecing project, but it was just something I liked. Now, this is one, it's kind of a twofold project. This is something that I want to make. I really love this fabric. I love the blues. Let me give you a little close-up of this. It has a little tiny bit of a shimmer on it, and I thought this would be really, really nice. It would be a great project for a bag. So I fell in love with this fabric, and I definitely was able to get some. I believe I only got about a yard of it, which was totally enough for me to make a little tote bag that I'm thinking of. So I wanted to go and get that, and I thought this was really pretty. But it has this little gold shimmer to it, but it's not too overpowering. So let me just give you another close-up of that. Isn't that just beautiful? I love the colors. The blues are amazing. I like it. So I was excited about this one. Then I got some more fabrics that were really just with the English paper piecing in mind. I wanted something a little bit toned down, not too powerful, not too colorful. So this would kind of serve as kind of like a background, maybe as a border, you know, something to kind of tone down a project. So I got something like this because I didn't want to get just a plain white or a plain black fabric. I wanted to just kind of, you know, keep it something neutral, but something with a little bit of a blend, but nothing too overpowering. Well, let me just check in the chat here and see. I see got a lot of activity going on. So let's see. Oh, Judy says, Nancy, do you need to do a live? So I need to do a live sew along or on Zoom. Yeah, you know, and we'll make something together at the same time. Of course, in addition to the Crafternoon Saturday. That's a great idea, Judy. Maybe I'll do something like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know. I think I'm going to see if I can pull something together. Maybe try to do a little design that you guys can do, and then we can all do it together. That's a great idea. We could do something like that. I'm going to put something together. I'm going to start planning it out, Judy. So you just started something. Let's see. Boricua Sewing and Craft says, I'm going to go to the fabric. I'm going fabric shopping in Nancy's sewing room. Yes, you will. I have tons to choose from. Let's see. I love the idea of doing a sewing project together. That would be awesome and fun. Great. Okay, definitely I will put something together, and I think that'll be a lot of fun to do. Definitely see if I can do something with the camera so we can do close-ups and things like that. But definitely I'm gonna look into doing a project, and it'll be a simple project. Maybe we can do just a quick little, I don't know, zipper pouch or something together. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so tune in for more on that. See, Judy, you started something. Okay, now this one, I just thought it was fun. I just saw this and said, cow, love it. This, along with some of the other fabrics, sometime, was it last year, I went to a wedding in Texas, and I think I did a little video on it because I got some fabric while I was there, and it was a lot of like that cowboy type fabric, so I've got that going on. But then I also got a book that showed you how to make the little holders for your kitchen, and it had like the little farm animals, and I remember one of them being a cow. So when I saw this, I said, oh my gosh, this would be a beautiful pot holder. So I definitely saw this and had to get it. It just looks like something that will be a lot of fun. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, I thought it was adorable. So definitely some fun projects that you can make with that. So I wanted to get that, and didn't get too much of it. I just got enough to get my projects going. Now, this was another one where I saw this fabric and I said, you know, this would be great for, you got your Easter coming up, right? So Easter holiday, that's, you know, coming around the corner. So you've got some pretty pastel-like colors, but this is like another color explosion where you can now take this and you can make bags, zipper pouches, little gifts, things that you can fill up that Easter basket with. And then you can take this and also, you know, just do other things with your English paper piecing projects. But Easter is a great holiday. You know, you put the little baskets and things for the kids. You can knit things for them, but you can also do some great useful little pouches, little handbags for them. And these are the perfect colors for that type of event. So got just a few on that. Then and these I got from Hobby Lobby, by the way. So I did make my haul from Joann's, but I also went to Hobby Lobby. And this one I got a little bit more of because I am thinking of doing a very big paper piecing project. And this little, it's like a little sparkle of different colors. It's not, doesn't have a lot of that color pop, but it's muted enough where I could kind of work in some of these colors, and then I can use this either as a border or part of the quilt itself and kind of incorporate the colors with it. So I thought this is really nice to have. So I did get I think about a yard of this. So didn't go too crazy, but I could see where all of these colors could blend in with some of my other fabrics. And I'm going to show you some of them that I got that could go with it. So here's like an orangey, kind of bright, like, woo, put your sunglasses on. You're ready for this one. It's bright, but I thought it was pretty. And you can see where now I can kind of match up this other fabric with it. See how some of the little sparkles within there have the same colors? Let me see if I can get this in there. So you could see kind of where you can pick out some colors that's within here and then just incorporate the project with it. So now when I start to quilt this and pull it together, I can kind of, you know, pull out the colors that are within this little crazy sparkly thing and then just blend it in with these, and it'll really go together well as I'm doing the project together. So that's something that, you know, that's when I'm picking my fabrics, I'm looking for things like that. You know, if I pick a fabric that has these multiple colors, try to pull out the colors that are within that fabric and see if you can, you know, pull them together to make something else. So I did have this one. I did find the blue as well. So you can tell it has a little bit of the blue. And you can see the blue in there. So I think a combination between, you know, this orangey, the blue, it has a little bit of yellow. You know, there's certain things that I can pull that'll make a really nice quilt with this. So definitely, you know, another project for me. Let's see. I see some stuff happening in the chat here. And Nana 3131331 says, Nancy, you have bought fabric from MDG Marshall Dry Goods. No, I don't think I've heard of them. They have Baltic fabric for the bolt. Oh, $39 plus shipping, plus she got 3 bolts of fabric. Oh, wow. And I thought this was reasonable. Well, I'll have to check that out, Nana. Thanks for letting us know. So, guys, it's MDG Marshall Dry Goods. I'm going to check those out after the live. I'll look them up. Oh, Judy says yes. And the portion of the amounts are only... Judy. It seems like Judy and 1 minute tips are going back and forth. They're having conversations. That's awesome. Okay, so definitely I will look into that, Nana, because I have never heard of them. So, you know, if they've got some reasonable prices out there, you know, I'm always looking for fabric stores because, like I said, I live in sunny South Florida, and down here there really isn't too many if any, fabric stores around or quilt stores. So I do have to resort myself to going to some of these big box stores, but I'm always looking for specialty shops and things that, you know, you can get online, you know, so I can get different types of fabrics for all of my projects. So these are some of the ones that I did get. Now, I did get this other one here, and I had gotten this before. Not sure where. I think I have it somewhere back there as just a little tiny, not even a fat quarter. It was less than that. It was very small amount that I got. And I just like the colors on this. And again, with the Easter holiday, I'm like, you can really make some cute stuff with this for little girls. So I thought this was a nice one to get. So I went ahead and got this one. And again, you can blend the colors. You've got some yellows and pinks and purples and blues in here. You can mix and match. I certainly have enough of the other fabric that I can mix and match with this. And you can definitely make a beautiful quilt or a bag with that. So I can definitely pull something together. Oh, now I'm kind of really excited. Let's do this little sew along. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So some of the other ones that I got, and these I think you may have seen it last week where I was using this little swirly stuff for some of the paper piecing that I was doing, and I did cut up some of that because I was using it. And this is from the fat quarter that I showed. But you see how, you know, what I like to do before I start my paper piecing projects, you see that this fabric is just, it's a little stiffer, is because I like to prep my fabrics. So basically what I do is once I pull them out of the fat quarter, I like to starch my fabrics and I just hit them with the iron, and then I kind of just let them lay out for like a few minutes or so as I'm doing the other ones. And then I start cutting strips and then cutting and sub-cutting down to the size that I need for the actual project that I'm doing. So as you can see, these fabrics, they are the same that I just showed earlier, but they seem a little stiffer, and it's because I've already hit it with the starch. So that really helps me a lot because it helps you get more accurate cuts. When you hit it with the starch, the fabric isn't moving around as much as you're doing your cuts. So for those of you that are kind of struggling on getting accurate cuts when you're doing your projects, hit it with the starch. And there's all kinds of brands out there. I use different ones. I use Best Press. It's one of them, but you can just get from your local Walmart, Joann's, Michael's. They all have these starch items, and it really doesn't matter the brand that you're using. I just have one that I specifically like. It's called Best Press. It's only because the smell is just amazing. I love it. They have different scented ones, and it's really, really nice. So that's all of the fabric that I have. So those were all the fabric hauls. I did just get a couple of yarn ones, and I just got them because I had a project in mind here, and one I just got for fun. So this one, it's called Ice Cream, and it is by Lion brand. It is a number 3, so it is a lightweight yarn. And this one comes, let's see, 394 yards. It's 100% acrylic, but it's not, you know, it's not very extremely soft, but I just liked the colors, and I thought the colors were really nice for Easter as well. So we give you a little close-up of them. It's got some pretty pinks and teals and purples, and I thought it was just pretty. But the color, it's called Ice Cream, and that's pretty much it. I think I got like maybe like 2 of these because I wanted to kind of make like a little blankie with this. So I might do either a little crochet project, or I might throw this on my Centro machine and just try to, or my Addy, and just try to do a little panel with that. But thought the colors were really, really cute. So I know a lot of people have like baby showers and stuff coming up, so this is another idea that you could do with a ball of yarn. Now, I also got this one, and this one is kind of a muted color. It's called Big Twist. It's a little bit softer than this Ice Cream brand. Even though this is Lion's brand, I love Lion's brand. Love it. It works super well with my Addy as well as with my Sunshine machine. I don't have a lot of issues when I use this brand on those machines. So I really enjoy Lion's brand, but this one is called Big Twist, and I thought it's softer. So it has that softness to it, more than I would like, because I prefer it to be soft, especially if you're working like on a blanket for a baby. So you want that softness to be in there. This one is not as soft. It is 100% acrylic though, but this one is a blend. Let's see. This one, it's a number 4 weight, so it's a little bit thicker. And this one, I'm trying to find it on here. Let's see. Oh, 100% anti-plying acrylic. So it's a little bit different. It is a little softer. It only has 330 yards, so a little bit less than the Lion's brand. So I did get 2 of them just to be safe for the project that I'm thinking of. But these are, you know, ones that I wanted to kind of incorporate. I won't put the 2 colors together because I don't think they'll kind of work, I guess. But I think I'm going to keep the ice cream color on its own with all the blends of colors that it has. I think that'll be enough. Maybe I'll use this as kind of like a border on the outside. So that's one that I found. Now, one that I got really excited about, and I really love this one. I saw this and I said, oh my gosh, that's a purse. That's a purse that I got to knit. And that's this one. It looks like a pair of jeans when I see it. It's like, oh my God, a pair of jeans, but it's like a jean purse is what I'm thinking. And this one is called, I love this yarn, right? And this one is, it's 100% acrylic, and it is a number 4 medium weight yarn. So I think this will work really well. Now, I did have some mixed things with I love this yarn. I myself haven't had an issue, but I have seen people post on different sites where they've had issues with this yarn on their Centro machine. I haven't had any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. Let's see how this project works, but definitely this is going to be a purse, and I really wanted to make this purse with these blue colors on it. I just think it's really neat. Let me show you another close-up of that. Isn't that cute? Just looks like a pair of jeans to me. I don't know. Maybe it's me. But I think it's a really nice color. And I think this will really look cute if I can make this as a purse. Kind of similar to the other purse that I made when I blended 2 colors. But I want to see if I could do it all in one color, but a different design. And I'm going to try to put something together for that. So I've got a lot of little projects going on, all probably at the same time. One that I do have, and this is one that I started a while back. Never had time to finish it because I kind of started it on and off, and then I kind of forgot where I was going with it. So the yarn that I was using on here is Mandela Baby. And this is a lightweight yarn, so it is a number 3 weight. And the skein that I bought was, and I say was because I did start this, it's 590 yards. So it was quite big, still kind of quite big. Used it for another little project, and now I'm going to be using this one. I think the colors are really cute. So I am making a bag on this one. So I went ahead and started it off. Not finished with it yet, obviously, but got my stitch markers. And you see how the colors kind of blend in as you're making them. This one's a really simple pattern in just making the bags. It's a lot of double crochets, single crochets type of pattern, but you know, you do have to do the round and you want your round. Let me see if I can do this a little, double it up so you could see it better. Like that. So you have your little rounded corners. So you do have to kind of decrease, increase, and kind of do those types of knitting. I'm sorry, crocheting on here, because I am crocheting it. It's not a difficult project. It's just you do have to do the counting, and sometimes I kind of lose count because I get distracted on things. But you know, I think the project will come out nice. So I did start it off just as basically just the bottom of the bag, so it's like the base, and then I will go ahead and build it up. And I probably will change up some of the stitching as I get towards the middle of the bag. So maybe what I'll do in order to contrast, since the yarn itself already has these, you know, colors mixing in, what you can do is then change up the actual stitch that you do. So if you see the stitches here, or I keep saying stitches, if you it's crocheted, but what happens is if you change the different type of crochet that you're doing, or the stitch that you're doing, you can, that's another way to kind of showcase the actual colors of the yarn that you're using. So it's kind of just a point I wanted to make. So you can have yarns that are just plain the same color, and you can make different types of stitches, and you'll see the contrast within that design. Or you can just pick yarns that have different colors themselves, and just doing a plain stitch all the way across. If I continue to do just this stitch and finish the bag with just this type of stitch, you will see, because of the different contrast in the colors, you will see an actual contrast in the bag itself. Or if you'd like to then change up the type of stitch you're doing, you know, it changes the look of the bag. So there's different ways that you can think about designing your bag when you're, you know, crocheting it, or even if you're knitting it. Like, so the different stitches will show it differently. But you can also, if you don't want to do too many stitches, maybe you're new to crocheting or knitting, you can also just pick a yarn that has multiple colors, something like this with a blend, and that will showcase your project as well. So don't be afraid of just, you know, not tackling the project because it's got all different types of, you know, threads and crochet techniques that you are not too familiar with. Just, you know, you could just take the one crochet that you know how to do, or the one knitting stitch that you know how to do, and take that all the way through on the project, because the yarn itself will showcase it with the different colors. So just an idea for you guys on that. I've kind of started this off and on. This is kind of my project of a to-do project while I'm on the go. So I constantly have it in this bag, and the only time I really work on this project is when I have appointments. So if I know that I'm going to a place where I'm going to have to wait, I usually will take my little Ziploc bag that has everything I need, just pop it in my purse, and then as I'm waiting, you know, I pop it out and I start working on it. So that's why this one takes me a little bit longer to do, because I only work on it when I'm out and about. So, you know, but it's a great way to kind of, you know, finish one of your projects. So pop them in, you know, take some of the projects that you're working on that you can use to go, pop them in a bag, and then just throw it in your purse. And as you go about and you have to wait for certain things, you can also just take out the bag and work on the project while you're out there. So that's all of the yarn that I had that I wanted to show you. Now, I did pick up this little gadget, and I don't know. I have mixed things on it. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like, I think about $6-7 for it. It's by Clover. It's called the Quick Yo-Yo Maker. And it has a little picture on the front of what it is. So it's kind of a gadget to help you gather your material. So as you can see, they have a little picture of a bag with a bunch of different yo-yos on it. And it's not difficult at all. It is very, very simple to do. I just can't picture how to use this on a project yet. So let me show you what it looks like. Let me take it out. I did kind of play with it a little bit here. And all it is just, it's like a hard plastic circle. And I guess they have different sizes. This one is 45 millimeters. And this one, you kind of pop it out. There's two pieces to it. So one has a little hole in the middle, and it has, if you can see, all of these little holes around the edges. And that hole has a specific purpose for it. So this is where you would pull your needles. You would have to hand thread this. You would put the needles in and out of these holes. And then you would just kind of go all the way around. And what you would do, and let me just like pulled a little piece of fabric in here just so I could show you. The way this works is you'll take the plastic piece here. You'll put your fabric on it. You take the back side of the fabric to the plastic. So the top of the fabric is showing. And then what you do is you're going to apply that to the actual circle. So let me flip this around actually. This way. Easy to just kind of do it on a flat surface. And you just kind of pop it in. So you'll hear a really light pop as it gets in. So you'll see that my fabric is now securely inside. And ideally, you would want to just cut around it, maybe leave yourself about a 1/4 inch seam around this circle. And then what you will do is you will then take the fabric, fold it in, and you'll kind of just tuck the fabric inside. Because what you're going to do is take a needle and thread, which I think I have one here. Hold on. Let's see. Yes, I do. Okay, so I do have a needle and thread here. And really what I'm going to do now is from the back end. Let's see if I can do this, and then I'll show you guys in a second. Let me tuck my fabric in and find the hole. Give me a second. Okay. So you can see here, let me see if I can align it so I can get you guys to see it better. Hold on. Maybe I'll do it from this side just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Can you see that here? It's kind of really hard to see. Let me just take it apart again. So on here, you have all of these little tiny holes, right? You're going to take your needle and thread, and you're going to hand sew around those little holes. And what the holes do is basically, it's just kind of measuring it for you. It's making sure that you're going in and out of your fabric at the same distance. So it helps to keep the distance all the way around the circle together and uniformed. And I have one that I kind of did. And this one was quick and dirty. I didn't really cut the seam. I just wanted to do something really quick. And let me kind of unravel it so you could see what it would look like. So you'll see here, you see how the fabric is kind of uniformed in between the stitches? What this will do is once you've finished going all the way around and just weaving in and out around this little plastic holes, what it will do is when you're done, you would pop it off of the plastic piece here, and it will gather the fabric for you. So then all you would need to do is now just pull this. Let's see if I can get this angle right. So you see how it pulled the fabric together? So what you could do with this, it leaves you with a kind of perfect little round circle. So if there's any project that you have that requires you to have like a little round circle, you know, you could use this tool to make it. And it also gathers it together. So if it's something that you are looking like, say, let's imagine this was a bigger piece of fabric, and let's say it was a bag, and you wanted to get one of those pull bags, and you wanted to just kind of do something with a light thread, you could do that, and then it would just pull the fabric in for you, so it would gather it. And so some people will take this and they'll use this as a little flower, maybe put a little button in the middle, and they would use this as a design. So this is something, you know, it's a gadget that, you know, it's out there. If you're looking to do something like that and add that to your project, you can add the little button in the middle, and it'll have all of the fabric gathered evenly, so it'll look really cute. Or you can actually take polyfill and stuff the inside of it if you wanted to make the kind of like a puffy look, and just flip it over and attach this, and you'll have like perfect little circles within your design. So depending on what you're making, you know, I thought it's a neat little gadget. You know, it does help you to align everything evenly. And so, you know, you're able to make sure that when you gather the material, you don't have like these big wonky pieces all over the place. So when you gather it and pull it, you're going to see one fabric's really big, the other one is small. This one really helps you keep everything aligned. So when you pull it, it's all going to be unified. So it's a neat little gadget. You know, I don't see myself using it all that much, but it's something pretty good to have, and it was pretty cheap. Again, this is the Clover brand, and it's called Quick Yo-Yo Maker. So I'll show that to you guys one more time, just in case you're interested. Yeah, 1 Minute Tiff says there's a gadget for everything. There is. There really, really is. But I'm all about making my life easy. So if I see something that's pretty inexpensive, you know, why not try it out? So I have that in here, and I'd like to get that. So let me see. So Marion's asking, Nancy, have you ever done knocking instead of the 2 knitting needles? No, I have many years ago. It's fun. Oh, well, that's something new. I've never tried it, but doesn't mean that I won't. I like to experiment, so I'm going to look it up. I haven't tried that. No, I haven't. I mean, I've gotten the Addy and the Central, and I got the machines going, but in terms of knitting itself, the only needles that I used for projects are like the circular knitting needles, something like this. You can see my little mess of crochet hooks and needles, but in terms of knitting needles, I've used these, but I don't know that stitch. That's something I could learn, but yeah, I do use my circular knitting needles in order to do certain projects, but this is the needle that I use, but I don't know the stitch that you're talking about. I can look it up and try to see if I can whip something up so we can get more details on that. But thanks for bringing it up, because I'll definitely look into that. Okay, let me move these over. So these are, you know, these little yo-yo things. I just see myself doing different things with this. Like, it's definitely something that you can embellish on an existing project, or you can really make something with this. The fact that it's gathering the material for you in a unified fashion really does make it interesting, because there's a lot that you can do with that. So let's see. I have one more thing that don't know if I have much time to get to, but we'll give it a shot. So one thing I wanted to do was just kind of demo my little baby here the yarn swift. And I have a couple of hanks that you guys have probably seen it before. I've showed you guys this they're all by Yarn Bee. This one was let's see, this was a fine weight, so it's a number 1. And these were, I'm sorry, this was a number 2, and these were super fine. So these are a number 1 yarn. But these hanks, I need to put them through my yarn swift, and I'm going to wind them up so that I can put them in a ball and start using them for a project. So let's see, whoop, there we go. So I don't know, I've got these 3 here. I'm gonna go for a quick little vote because we're running low on time, but this is number 1. So this color here, I'm gonna have you guys vote which ones do you think I should pull through my yarn swift. So here's number 1. Let's see. Oh, sweetie. Yep. I'll put this one as number 1. This one will be number 2. So pretty little colors there. And this will be number 3. So let me know on the chat, 1, 2, or 3, which one do you think I should pull through on my swift and get into a yarn ball? Got number 1 with the little sparkles on here. They're all by Yarn Bee. Number 2, little muted colors. And then number 3, it's got some oranges, yellows, greens. Which one do you think I should go ahead and do on my yarn swift now? Let's see, I got some answers coming in. See, I see Annette says number 3. I see Boricua Soy in Class is saying 1. Crafting with Robin says 1. 1 Minute Tiff says 2. Oh, no, he likes 1 too. Sorry. She said, I like 1 too. Okay. So we've got a 3, a 1, a 1, and a 1. So far number 1 is winning. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be number 1. So I'm going to move these over to the side. And I'm going to get this going. And I just kind of want to show you guys how, excuse me, how you would actually put it on a yarn swift. So tricky part is getting this tag off. Sometimes they have this sticky stuff on it. And I don't like it to kind of get a yarn. So you'll see that they are twisted. You know, once you pull them off the pack, they are twisted up. And they do this for a reason, just to help keep it together so it doesn't turn into a little yarn mess. Like you guys saw that I had that yarn explosion. So what you're going to want to do is kind of just open it up here. This will open this up here together. So you're going to end up with a nice big circle of yarn. So once you have these here, you're going to notice you do have some ties on here, and you will have to cut those out. But first you're going to want to get it onto your swift. So this is a swift that I got, I don't know, a couple months ago, I guess. And I did an unboxing of this. I did order this. It came in from India. So I was excited about it. And it's made out of wood, but there are all different kinds. There's all kinds of umbrella. This is what's called an umbrella swift, and they're made out of wood, plastic. I mean, you can find them all over the place. I was just kind of wanting to do a little specialty thing for myself. So I really liked this one. And the way you would do this is you would have to put it onto the swift. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it around it. And I like to kind of pull it out a little bit here. Now, what I will do is you push it all the way up, and you see how it expands. So you can see it goes quite a distance here. And then I just kind of pull it down here. I'm going to go ahead and undo that a little bit just so I can show you guys something. So let's do this. Bring it in a little bit. You do have on the umbrella swift these little notches They're very, very small. And the little notches, let me see if I can pull it up. Maybe on the overhead. You guys could see it better, but let me try to get them out first because they're a little tricky sometimes. I got to use my pen to pull them out because they kind of slide in. Okay. All right. Can we get the overhead? I'm going to show you what the notches look like. So do you see these little notches? So you're going to want to pull them out because these little notches help to catch the yarn. So you'll see now when I put the yarn onto the swift, it kind of holds it in place. And so if you don't pull the little notches on, it's just going to fall down. So you're going to want to pull it on here. And then let me just get this on and then I'll show you guys. So you'll see here, I now have my hank unraveled and I have it hanging on to my umbrella swift. And so I'll go ahead, push this down. It's going to stretch out as much as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and tighten this so that it stays nice and taut. And you'll see, you'll want to make sure that your umbrella is able to move freely all the way around so nothing is obstructing its way. And now you can, when you go around, you can see, and maybe you can see this a little better, each little area has a little tie. And they put these on here just to keep it from unraveling and becoming just a big mess. So what you'll need to do is now cut these little ties, and then one of the ties is going to have the beginning and end of the yarn. And so what you'll do is you'll pull that out, and that's how you'll see where the beginning of the yarn is, and you'll be able to pull it and it'll start to turn, and then you can kind of wind it up on your yarn winder. So for the swift, see if I have a pair of scissors here. I am going to go ahead and cut the ties off. So let's look at where they are. And they usually will put the ties in like a letter, the number 8. So you'll see that 8 figure on the ties. And it's all they do. They do this just so that it keeps it from getting all tangled up and being just a hot mess. But you'll want to look at them carefully because one of them is going to have the beginning and end of the yarn tied in with the tie. And that's the one you're going to want to do last. So this one doesn't have it. So I'll go ahead and cut the tie off because you're going to want to cut each one of those ties out so that you can then use your yarn swift. And what I like to do is just kind of put my finger in between the yarn and then I just move it along, and if my finger stops, then that means I probably have a tie in there. If it doesn't, then if my finger just freely moves, that means there's no tie in there, so I'm good to go. Now I have a tie, but it's all the way on the end here, so I'm gonna see if I can pull that out, and I'll go ahead and snip that off. Go and just pull it, and here it is. Now this one happens to have the beginning and the end, and like I said, I like to do these last, so I'm going to kind of just leave it hanging here and find the other ones. So if I run my fingers through, look for any more ties, and I found another one here. Here's a tie. You can see that. A little difficult for you guys to see, but here it is here. See how it kind of pulls it together? So I'm going to take and cut that off. Pull that off. And let's see if there's any more. Nope, I think that's it. So the last tie that I have, you can see it is connected. So because it's connected, I know that my beginning and end yarn are here. So I'm going to want to cut that carefully. And now I am ready to start winding the yarn. Now I know that this end, I'm going to kind of just loop it. And I have my yarn. So now as I pull it, you're going to see here, as I pull the yarn, it will begin to turn. So that's the idea of this Swift, is so that it will hold your hank in place. It won't become a tangled mess. You don't have to kind of hang it on the back of your chair while you're trying to wind it into a ball. But this is what the idea of the Swift is holding and organizing that yarn together while you're able to pull it into the ball and then just, you know, start doing it with your yarn ball winder. Say that 5 times fast. So that's kind of just what I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and continue and just use my yarn ball winder and wind this up into the ball so that it would then be ready for my project. I think this yarn is really pretty, has a lot of sparkles in it, so I think it's going to be a great project for me to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you coming in on our Saturday Crafternoons. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, just go ahead and do that. It's GiftsHQ USA. We like to share all of our projects on there, and I'll definitely be sharing with you guys all the projects as I continue to make progress on them. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye.